Well, hello and welcome to On the Patio with Mr. D. Hey, we got us another product review today, and we're going to be looking at another phone gimbal. And as y'all know, I took the Insta360 Flow Pro and returned it. And I was very dissatisfied with the tracking and the gesture stuff and all that kind of thing. I was really unhappy with that gimbal. Also, the sound's going to sound a little weird today because for some reason my external microphone took a dump on me. I don't know what's going on with that. So I'll just try to keep the phone close to me while I'm doing my audio, and hopefully it'll be okay. So if you do hear some background noises and stuff like that, that's what it is. So anyway, what we're going to be looking at today, guys, is, and it rated number 2 on the iPhone gimbals or gimbals, and it rated number 2 just below the Insta360 Flow Pro, but it depends on what review site you're looking at. Now, on several of the other review sites, the one that I'm doing right now, and I'm going to tell you about, was rated number 1. So what we're going to be looking at today, guys, is the DJI M6 or Mobile 6 gimbal. Now, I've heard a lot of whining over this thing that it's not portable, it's not as good, or it's not as compact or portable as the Flow Pro. Well, and the thing is, with the built-in tripods on the Flow Pro, and it does have built-in tripods, but they're flimsy as heck. Now, this comes on with a DJI, comes with a foldable tripod, as you can see here, and it has to be screwed on the base. But that's okay. I don't mind that. So what we're going to do is we're going to repeat the exact same review that we did on the Flow Pro. I'm out here at Celebration again. I got my Starbucks coffee, and we're going to do a walkabout and test this thing. So what we're going to do is look at this process here. I'm going to talk to you about the controls and stuff. And remember, I had a problem with the Insta360 Flow Pro because it defaults to focus, and their focus ring was that big dial that was on the front. This is the dial here, and it's a zoom dial like this, and that works for your, I think it's for your rear lenses only. I'm going to switch around real quick and take a look at that. Block it, should pick it back up, and it does. That was one of the things that I couldn't get my Insta360 Flow Pro to do. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go past this pole, slow down, block out the track. It shuts the track off and pick the track right back up. Now that's what I couldn't get the Flow Pro to do, and it really upset me. Now I'm walking in the opposite direction, and it's still tracking the building, which is awesome. Now, one of the things I found out also about the Flow Pro or Insta360 Flow Pro, and I'll say it from now on as Flow Pro, you'll know what I'm talking about, versus the DJI M6, and I'll be using M6 to kind of reduce the verbiage. But one of the first things that I noticed with the tracking, that it did what it said it was going to do. If it loses tracking, it'll pick you right back up. And that's really, really cool. Now, we're walking along the Celebration area here. And I've used the DJI Mimo app a lot. I have also DJI products, and I also have several Insta360 products. But I was very disappointed in the Flow Pro, and it was just for those 2 reasons. Now, it does have advantages. For instance, it's double the battery life from the M6. The M6 only gets 6 hours, where the Flow Pro gets 12. Now, that's a big difference. Now, I don't do that kind of heavy shooting. I just pulled the extensions out on the the M6, and I'm using that now like a vlogging tool. And it's working well. The tracking's still doing its thing, as you can see. So far, I love the tracking on the M6 over the Flow Pro. That was my biggest complaint, is that I could not get the tracking to work like it's supposed to. We're going to continue our walk and get to a spot. There's a spot over there that I can set the little tripod up and we can do our thing. So, hey, we'll be back in a minute. So what we're doing right now, oops, I got to be careful with my hands. And I do talk with my hands a lot. So, one of the things I've noticed with the tracking system on the M6, it is far superior over the Flow Pro. So we're going to leave this on. We're going to walk down the sidewalk there and see if it loses us and brings us back. So we'll be back in a minute. It did pick me back up. Now, another thing about this particular gimbal, guys, versus the other one, the InstaFlow Pro will track you 360 degrees. This one has limits, and I think it's 270 or something like that. So I'm going to walk around this here, and we can see how far it goes. It's still tracking me pretty good. Now it lost me, so that's the limit. Yeah, it's picked me up. So I'm trying to see what the limit is, and that's about it. So it looks like about, I don't know what it is degree-wise, but it's half again as much as what the Flow Pro will do. So that's kind of a drawback right there. So we're going to keep on trucking and see how this thing goes. We're going to check out the zoom feature right here. I got a gator looking at me. Now I'm going to zoom it all the way out. That's all the way out. Now I'm going to start bringing it in. And there he is. Now, zoom feature works really, really good. I had problems with my zoom feature on the other one, and I like the location of the wheel on this one. Okay. Very good. I like this. The feature itself is very responsive. And there we go. The tracking feature right now is way, way superior from the Flow Pro. I mean, way superior. But you're giving up a lot. First of all, you don't get the 360. You get like a little over 180. You can't get a full spectrum of a circle when you're walking. So that's kind of a bummer. And then switching from forward lens to back lens, you cannot be recording when that's going on. Where the Flow Pro, you can be. So there's another advantage. Now we're going to our spot over here to do some more track testing, because that was my biggest complaint with the InstaFlow Pro was the tracking. So we're going to get set up over here and we'll see how we do. So we'll be right back. So as you can see the setup here, guys, I've got it on a Best 360 weighted tripod. You want to do that because this thing's going to move around a lot. And the tracking on this thing is really, really good. Now I'm going to start doing a tracking test on the rear lenses here in a minute. Whew. Now, I don't know if it lost me, but it seems to be, oh yeah, it's got me picked up. So one thing you want to do is you want to center like that. There we go. Now, that's one thing I don't like about this unit is that it can't do a 360-degree turn. The motors can't do that, but it will do like about a 180. As you can see here, it's tracking extremely well. And it's doing a good job. Now I'm going to go to the rear lenses and see how that does. Now, with the limitations of the gimbal motors, you have to position it where you want it to go. So, hey, we'll be back in a minute. All right, we're recording using the rear lenses, and that was one thing that I couldn't get the Flow Pro to do, and you can see it's tracking me really good. And that's off the rear lenses of the cell phone, not the front, not the LCD front. And so that pleases me beyond, because I could use gesture control, and that's what I couldn't do. Every time I use gesture control and go into tracking mode, it would shut it off. Here, I was able to use tracking and gesture control and get up here, and it just shut down. Hi guys, we're gonna do another test using this tracking system off the, some people call them the rear lens, some people call them the front lens. I'm gonna call them the rear lens on my cell phone, and then the LCD front. So that's the way I do it. I don't know what the right way is, but that's the way I'm gonna do it. But I got this thing in gesture control. It's tracking me. It's doing what it's supposed to do, I think. Yep, it is. It's picking me up, doing its thing. Wow. And it picked me back up once I went out the limit. Let's go this way. Can't beat it. So one of the things I found out right away, guys, there is a limitation. If you move too fast past your gesture control, it's going to stop recording on you. You got to let it kind of establish itself first, and then you can move around. As you can see here, now here I'm off the LCD lenses, was able to use gesture control on the rear lenses and the front LCD side. And I am really pleased with that, because I could, oops, I used a hand gesture. Guys, you can't talk with your hands. I just did. I put my hand up talking, and it said, okay, that's a gesture control, and shut me off. So anyway, this is what I'm finding out. This thing is pretty cool. Now, I don't know what this okie dokie symbol is right here. Oh, that turns on face tracking. Ah! That's what that does. It turns on face tracking, and this has been my biggest complaint, is I could not get the tracking systems to work the way they're supposed to work. So this one is beating out the Flow Pro hands down. There are some shortcomings to the M6. I mean, a lot. People say it's not as portable. I have it in my pocket with the tripod screwed on and put it in my pocket. It's no big deal. But they're saying, oh, it's difficult and it's hard and it's too bulky. No, it's not. And they say that the magnet is can't be transported on the gimbal like you can with the Flow Pro. That's a true statement. But I don't anyway. I keep the magnet on my phone and put my phone in my pocket. That's what I do. So it works great for me. So anyway, hey, we're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna continue our video, and we'll be back in a bit. All right, what we're gonna do now, guys, is show the setup time. Everybody's complaining about the setup time. You unlock it, lift this up, comes into place, take your magnet. Yeah, I am. Okay, and just launch your app. Now there's a way to launch the app. I just haven't figured out how to make that work yet. So that was the setup time, and it really wasn't that big a deal. Identifying gestures, okay. So gesture control is still on. Tracking is on, so what I'm going to do is a walkabout, go down to the end of this walkway, and then I've got it set up to where it should read it maximum rotation. Now that's a shortcoming, and it's a big shortcoming. Not being able to do 360 degrees is a really, really big shortcoming. So anyway, we're going to get started right here. Now it did do what it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to pick up other people other than me, and it did that. We just had a jogger go by, and it's got me picked up. And I'm going to walk down here a ways. And it's working. I mean, it's at its maximum point right now, and that I had to learn, is find out what its maximum point is, and then when I do my setup, set it up so it's at its maximum point, and that should really work out really well. Let's see when it picked me. Yep, it has picked me back up. Now this is what the Flow Pro couldn't do. It would just break off me and never bring me back. Here, this hasn't missed a lick. And that's my biggest usage for this, is the tracking, because I'm a solo cinematographer. I do everything by myself, and I gotta have something that does the tracking work for me. And I can see how this would work so well in the kayaking world. I think it's going to be awesome. Now I did find out one thing, guys. Once you get out of a specific shoot, don't talk with your hands. Once you shut it down or move to a different spot or do whatever, but once you've stopped recording, your hand gesture mode will go back to off. And that's the same thing with the Flow Pro. It did the exact same thing. So anyway, hey, we're gonna keep on trucking, so we'll be back in a bit. There it goes. Oh, it automatically did it. Okay, so on the LCD screens in gesture control, guys, the face tracking is automatic. Now on the rear lenses, which we're going to test right now, we're going to see how that does on that. So we'll be right back. All right, so now I'm off the back lenses, guys, and tracking was automatic. So I don't know what the okie dokie symbol is for. I got to do some more research on that. But it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's tracking me from the rear lenses now. So that gives you the ability to track some object tracking, animal tracking, and stuff like that. So it should work out really well. But I'm liking this. I mean, I am really liking this one. Except for its shortcomings. Now, if I didn't know about the Insta360 Flow Pro with the 360 degree rotation, this had been my choice. And that's the only thing, well, there are two things that bother me a little bit. One is the Insta360 360 degree rotation. That's an important one. And then the other one is the ability to switch screens forward and aft without stopping recording. On this one, you have to stop. On the Flow Pro, you do not. And that's kind of a bummer, but it's not that big a deal. We can fix that in post. So, hey, we'll be back in a bit. I've selected the radiator on this one, guys, and have it see it track out, and it's holding, it's holding, it's holding. Now it lost it. I got a red box. Now I'm going to go back and see if it picks it back up again. Okay, once you get past the red box signature, then it will not come back. So if it goes red, like I'm going to do right now, wait for it to go red, come back, and it picked it back up. So I learned something there. Now the zoom feature on this I really, really like. I like the zoom wheel where its location is. People have complained that the zoom wheel was accidentally hit, and that could be true. I haven't yet. Now, right now I'm using a joystick for the first time. It's set at medium speed, so it is pretty quick. So if you want to set that to slow, and I'm going to do that real quick, so I'll be right back. All right, so what I've done is taking the joystick settings and moved it to slow. And that's really nice. It's nice and smooth. I like the speed of this. Now I'm going to change. If I can do change, yes I can. Now I'm in tilt. Yeah, it will. It'll tilt down, and then it'll tilt up. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. Now I'm in FPV mode, and it's going to do whatever I want it to do. Now this one is spin shot. This is a good one. I'm going to go ahead and set this one up. Now this would be really, really great for a transition. Alright, it won't do 360 degrees where the Flow Pro will. Let's see where this thing goes. I took it to its max. Let's see what it does here. Okay, it does go quite a ways. Alright, then it starts getting in the way of the arm. So, it's actually pretty cool. Now just recenter it. Hi guys, so we did a few tests, and it was actually pretty cool. Did the spin test, we did the FPV mode, follow mode, tilt mode. We did all that by this old antique car, and it really did well. The only drawback is that it will not go 360 degrees in the spin shot. But it'll go about, I think it's 280, but the arm gets in the way. So you're going to have to watch that in your transition shot to make sure you don't exceed that. Not a big deal. Right now, the tracking and gesture control is winning the battle, because that's what's most important to me. Other people, it's not. So we're going to take some creative shots right now, kind of play around a little bit and see how we go from there. So we'll be back in a bit. Now, to use some of the zoom feature, it is a little jerky. Now I'm using the joystick a little bit. I want to try that. And we're going to get some breakfast here in a few minutes. See my peeps. Hey guys, I am actually back at the downtown diner here in Celebration because I had such a good breakfast last time. I want to do it again. So we're going to get going. He's going to hook me up with some food and we're going to be good to go.
Let's do it.
The M6 versus the Flow Pro. Flow Pro has a lot of advantages as far as the ability to do 360 degree photos and tracking and all that stuff. But the tracking on their unit is sketchy at best. Their gesture control is horrible. And so the biggest thing that the Flow Pro got going for itself is the ability to scan and track at 360 degrees. Loose tracking, I'll tell you, I may have a defective unit, I don't know, but I'd go behind a tree and come back and that thing would just stay there. This one today, I did several passaways and it picked me right back up. I am so pleased, and that's the big thing for me. I don't care if it's 360 degrees and all that kind of stuff. What I had to learn was how to position the gimbal to where it would track the total direction of where I was going. And I've learned that, and it's worked really well. So the biggest advantage for this is its tracking and gesture control stuff. Hands down, the M6 wins without question. Now, one of the things I did find out on the Flow Pro, you can do a lot of things on the screen while you're recording. And this is just the app. That's the only difference it is. Where you can't do it on this one. You have to stop recording, make your changes, do whatever you want to do, and then start recording again. Big deal? Nah, not really. If my offset is getting better tracking and better gesture control, then I don't care. This really works out well. Now, is it going to pass 100%? I don't know. But right now, even with the shortcomings from the Flow Pro versus the M6, I got the M6 ahead. Now, a lot of people complain about the portability and all that. I didn't see any problem in portability. The folding part of it is not that big a deal. You can't fold it with the mag on it. It's okay. I don't take the magnet off my phone when I'm doing a gimbal shoot. So it just stays on there and I slide it in my back pocket. It's not a big deal. And then I just put it in my pocket with the tripod attached. Yeah, it's an extra screw-on tripod, but it's a lot more sturdy than the one that comes with the InstaFlow. That is not nowhere near as sturdy as this one is, and I'm pushing on it right now pretty hard. And if I'd have done that with the Flow Pro, that thing would have been bouncing all over the place. So portability wise, it's what you say it is. I think mine is portable the way it is, the DJI. I just keep the tripod screwed on and put the whole unit in my pocket and put the cell phone with the magnetic bracket on the phone and stick it in my pocket. The other thing you could do is also buy that flat magnetic wafer, which I'm thinking about doing. If I keep this gimbal, and there's no more other gimbals in the running. I look at the Hohem, that didn't make the cut. This is it. Either I accept this one or I'm done with the gimbal market. But right now, it's doing really well. So hey, we'll be back in a bit. Wow, this is bumpy as hell. I don't know if this is gonna work. Hi, hello, and welcome to the e-bike test. And right now I am not happy with the gimbal, the way it's going. I mean, it's bouncing all over the place. I'd have to see the footage to see, but it looks like it's bouncing all over the place. And that's because it's swaying back and forth on this mount. And I'm watching it, it's doing this stuff here. Now, I don't know if the footage is coming out the same way or not. Whoop, get out of the way, bunny rabbit. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. So I'm gonna do is play this back real quick and see if this is even worth doing. Did bounce a little bit, guys, as you saw in the clip. What we're gonna do is just do our ride. We're gonna do what we did with the other one, but I'm watching this one flux on the screen a lot more than the other one did, and it could be the mount that it's on. I think it is. Hold on, let me tighten this mount down. All right, let's try again. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, to be honest with you. I did take the clamp off, guys, and went with the flat plate. I like that a lot better. But I don't think these... I really don't think these gimbals are for use with an e-bike. I had the same issue with the other one. It's just, first of all, I don't think it's very safe. You get a hard hit, this thing's flying. It is tracking correctly. It's doing its job, but I'm not real happy with the results of it. Now, I had it on a different mount with the other gimbal, and it was more solid. This one's got it on a linked mount. It's got a ball mount on it, and that could be causing it to flex more because it is higher off from the bar than the other one was. But anyway, we're going to stop recording because I got the sun in my back, and you guys are going to pick that up on the screen. So we'll be back in a bit. Now here, guys, is the flat brace. This is by Encased. And to get that lined up is really easy. You can actually feel it align with the tail and the circle when it goes in there, because there's a slight indentation right there. But this is what I put on to take away from the bulkiness of the clamp. So will it work with an e-bike? Yes, it will. Would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't. I'm nervous as a cat, and it seems to be picking up a lot of the bouncing and vibration from the road, because I'm in a bad section right now where it gets really bumpy. But its claim to fame with DJI, I got to give its claim to fame, is definitely the tracking. The tracking on this is phenomenal. So anyway, we're going to continue on. I'm going to take the gimbal off the bike and set it in the back trunk, and then we'll get back to it later when I get to the park and stuff like that. For what its intended use is for when you're walking around and doing stuff like that. I tried this on the e-bike because I did try it on the other e-bike, but again, I would not make that a steady thing to do. I don't think it's really smart, but it is performing. The tracking's still doing its thing. Yep. And that's this big thing on this particular DJI M6. It is superior in tracking, with no question. Now, all the other toys, bells and whistles, that's where the Pro Flow has the edge. However, in the tracking and the gesture control, the Flow Pro failed miserably, where the M6 performed very, very good. As you guys saw that yesterday on the filming I did out at Celebration, it really did a great job. So we're just gonna kind of move on down here, gonna stop recording, and we'll be back later on in the ride. But right now we're gonna take the gimbal off the bike like I did with the other one, and it's just, what the heck is that? Oh, it's just not made for a bike. Hi guys, good morning. Hey, this is the last part of the review. I know this thing is long, but I really wanted to give it a decent review. And you know, I'm not blown away with this gimbal at all. The only thing it has going for itself is its very outstanding tracking and gesture control. But other than that, it's very limited in what it can do and what it can't do. Now I'm in follow mode right now, and I'm watching it. It's just, let me draw a box right here over these bushes. See if I can get that thing to, see, it didn't do it. All right, try it again. Okay, nope, it says no. There it goes. That took a minute. Now it's tracking. I don't know what happened. It was red box, and now it's green box again. And I'm tracking a gator that's, his head is above water right here. All right, guys, I got to admit that there's some real problems with this thing. First, they say it clears like a cable plugged into your phone. I want to show you something here. You don't know if you're going to hear it, but my transmitter is hitting the base. And I would have to shave off a little bit of material for that to work, and I'm not going to do that. So all in all, this is a good gimbal for the casual user and doesn't do any high-end stuff. It'll work great. And as far as tracking and stuff like that goes, it'll do a good job. So anyway, guys, hey, we're gonna wrap it up on this review of the DJI M6 gimbal. I gotta say it failed. It didn't make the cut. The Insta360 Flow Pro is the better gimbal. However, I did have a problem with mine, and it had to do with the tracking and gesture control. But the feature is feature rich. This is not. This is feature poor. It just does okay. It's a good beginner's gimbal. Other than that, I wouldn't waste your money on it. I'm going to send this one back. We'll see you on the next one.